Welcome in to the Brooks Bench with your host, Brooke, aka Shiggy, and my co-host, Meg.
What's up?
If you're new here, hit that subscribe button, like, comment, share, follow us on all social media at the Brooks Bench, and join our Discord, link in the description. As you guys can tell, Brooke is not here. She had a call off, lots of work, but we are going over the Week 17 recap. We have a lot to go over, lots of things to talk about. So let's start off with the news. First off, Ayoka Lee, she had a minor procedure on her foot, expected to be back in 2 weeks. I believe they said that this was going to be the best way for her to get back to play and be ready for March Madness. And obviously, Kansas State does miss her and need her. Reagan Beers able to finish the game, but I heard that she was like walking gingerly after a tough fall. Not sure the news surrounding that yet, but it's something to monitor. Flau'jae Johnson will be out through the SEC tournament due to shin inflammation. They said it's something she's been dealing with, and it's just like, let's just shut her down and get her ready for the tournament, basically.
Uh-huh.
AZ Fudd told reporters today that she's still, well, not today, sorry. She told reporters that she's still deciding on whether she'll return to UConn or declare for the WNBA draft. Gino added he likes to have a firm answer from players on their status for next season, ideally after the conference tournament before the portal opens, which makes sense. Got to know if
Mhm.
you got to, get players or not. We'll pause here shortly. Do you think AZ declares or comes back?
That's tough. I can see it going either way. I can see her wanting to be able to really get another college year under her belt because she was
Mm-hmm.
dealing with a lot of injuries. And I
Mm-hmm.
mean, we just saw Paige do the exact same thing because
True.
she was dealing with injuries.
True.
Um, but it's also like, I mean, Sarah Strong will still be there, so it'll still be a good team. It's a lot of people are going to be returning, except for
Mm-hmm.
Paige. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I think it's a 50-50 shot. I could
Yeah.
see both ways and I'd be like, okay with both ways. Like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Like,
I
so
feel like I would also be sad if Paige was leaving because I'm like, man, it's like my dynamic duo.
yeah,
But then again, then it could be my year to shine.
true.
So
Very true. We'll have to see. The Big Ten announced that Northwestern's women's basketball contest at UCLA and USC won't be rescheduled. The two games will be recorded as forfeits. Wildcats will receive two losses in the conference standings, while UCLA and USC each will be credited a win. I know Northwestern isn't great, guys, but I think this is bad. The reason they couldn't make it was because of the fires.
yeah,
So, and I understand you guys are on a tight schedule, but it's kind of like, okay, well, what if this was, I don't know, someone in the contending, Ohio State?
right.
There's no way that Ohio State would have let that happen. They'd be like, no, we're putting up a fight. That's just my
I,
opinion.
I I think that's why it got handled this way because it wasn't going to affect anything.
Yeah, but still,
But I think if circumstances were different and it was a different team, I think
yeah,
they would have had to figure something out.
I know, but still, just a bummer. You're just taking advantage of of a team.
Yeah.
Notre Dame, when Notre Dame lost, Texas got number one in the AP poll for the first time since the 2020, no, since the 2003-2004 season. It is the fourth program to hold the number one spot this season, tied for the most in a campaign in AP poll history. We last had that many different number one teams in 2021. I mean, 2020, 2021. I like it. I like the shifting. I like that
Mhm.
everyone's good and everyone's competing. We've said it before. The viewers for the Sunday game Notre Dame versus NC State averaged 800,800. How do you say that number? 887,000
Yeah.
viewers. Peaked at 1.2 million. Fourth most watched women's college basketball regular season game on ESPN platforms this season, and it did not disappoint. It was a really good game. Tanai Latson is the third player in ACC history to reach 2,000 points as a junior. And this next one I wanted to put in there because, like, this is cool. Sac State. First program triple double was by, this is hard. Benneth Versteeg against
Hmm.
Montana. 14 points, total rebounds, 10 assists. I just wanted to shout it out. I thought it was cool when I saw it. Juju Watkins has scored 30 points in 4 straight games versus UCLA. That's tied for the third longest streak versus a single opponent in D1 since 1999. The only player with a longer streak in that span is Caitlin Clark, 10 straight versus Nebraska, 5 straight versus Minnesota. That's crazy. That
Yeah.
10 that 10 straight versus Nebraska is crazy. But congrats, Juju. Juju's also the only player in history of women's college basketball to average 24 plus points, 2 plus steals, and 2 plus blocks per game during the regular season.
The
For the 10th,
blocks is crazy
why?
because she's been killing
I
it.
know.
Like, and a lot of it was on bets that one game.
Oh my God. For the 10th consecutive season, South Carolina will finish as the NCAA leader in home attendance. Not surprised at all. Last one, Paige Beckers was inducted into the Huskies of Honor. I thought they usually wait for that. They said, boom, senior night and Huskies of Honor.
She
Deserves
deserves
it.
it. Yeah.
And then TCU wins their first ever Big 12 Conference regular season championship. Yippee! All right, over to Week 17 AP Top 25 recap. So, out of the top 25, Georgia Tech, Illinois, we all saw that coming. New to the poll, Louisville. I called that. Florida State is also back. Congratulations. Biggest risers, NC State up 4 spots, Tennessee up 4 spots, Oklahoma up 3 spots, and Oklahoma State up 3 spots. After this week,
Change is coming.
USC, number 2. Yeah, USC's popping up to number 2, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Notre Dame, UCLA. Sayonara. Just kidding. You're probably somewhere in the top 5 or 6. But yeah, definitely USC is moving up. Texas is going to stay at that number 1. But like on this note, the top 16, the last top 16 reveal happened, what was it, last Thursday? Before, actual selection. So Sunday, USC replaced, and this was funny because they did this and then hecka teams lost. So this is all wrong right now, But looking at it, USC replaced South Carolina as a 1 seed, which was interesting because now it's like, what do you do? Because your number 1 seeds were UCLA, Texas, USC, Notre Dame. Notre Dame's out. Bye. People have made good cases for UConn, and then obviously South Carolina, right? They said it would be harder for UConn just because they play in the Big East. They're expected to win their conference tournament. There's not a lot they can do to, shake those things up. It's more going to be reliant on UCLA faltering, which would be crazy. Other people messing up in their tournaments, right?
Yeah.
It would help South Carolina if they win the SEC. So there's a lot of scenarios that I think need to happen for UConn. But what do you think?
Yeah. Notre Dame, sorry you messed up.
Yeah, they messed up bad.
But I don't even they don't take like the strength of schedule into play?
They do.
Because I think that's what puts South Carolina a little ahead of UConn.
A little. They have what is it called? Quad 1 wins. They have right next to Texas, the most quad 1 wins.
Yeah. I guess little wasn't the best term.
Yeah. No.
But that's what I'm thinking puts them above them. So
yeah, no, I agree. They did say a path for Notre Dame would also be to win the ACC. But you already lost some. I don't know. I think it's kind of we're past that at this point. I don't know, in my opinion. We'll have to see. Everything's always different. But I'm excited. I'm excited for March Madness. It's around the corner.
Yeah.
And we'll be covering it. We'll be going over, our predictions, and stuff like that. But we'll get into it at the end of the video. So before we get into the Week 17 recap, Megan is actually going to cover all of the upsets of the week because there were just so many AP Top 25 matchups this week. I could not cover it all. So I broke it up. Megan's going to do actual upsets to AP Top 25 teams. Take it away, Meg.
So, starting with LSU, losing to Ole Miss.
Yeah, that was rough.
85 to 77.
No Flau'jae. No
Exactly.
Flau'jae. Yeah.
But I still feel like with Anissa and Michaela, I felt like they should have pulled this out.
Ole Miss defense.
But yeah, Ole Miss is just scrappy. They tire you out. LSU was, like I said, led by Anissa Morrow, 28 points, 12 rebounds, 1 assist. This was our 100th career double-double.
That's dope.
So congrats to her.
Yeah.
Michaela Williams also added 25 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists. The thing with LSU is that they don't have any bench production. It's literally Anisha
Yeah.
Marl, Michaela Williams, and if they have Flau'jae, it'd be Flau'jae.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of that, it's very, very sparse,
Mm-hmm.
right? Um, Old Miss was led by Tamia Sadler, 19 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, and KK Dean, 17 points, 1 rebound, 3 assists. Glad to see KK Dean's back in the starting lineup as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but LSU was leading. They lost their lead in the third quarter. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Old Miss scored 27 points off of 23 rebounds.
Woo! You
I
mean
mean,
turnovers?
turnovers.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's crazy.
Yeah. So, I mean, that explains it right there. It's sad to see that Flau'jae is going to be out. Um, I mean, does that make the path clearer for South Carolina? I think so.
They're on
So,
opposite sides of the bracket though in the conference tournament.
I know, but I mean, you would think that they would meet.
I was looking at it right now, actually. It was actually pulled up on my phone. They'd have to get through Texas.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't think that's
true.
happening. Yeah, not now.
So, but yeah, tough loss. Tough loss. I think it was senior night as well. So tough.
Oh, shoot. It was.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was.
yeah. Next matchup, UNC lost to Virginia.
That's
Crazy.
crazy.
Virginia won 78 to 75. Um, UNC led by Maria Gakden, 25 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, and Lexi Donarski,
The
18,
Narski.
18 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. And Virginia led by Latasha Lattimore, 23.6 rebounds, and Paris Clark, 17 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. What shocked me was Virginia only played 6 players the whole game. They really rolled their
Mm,
starting five, and that's that one player off the bench.
worked out.
Um, Virginia trailed by 18 points before they were able to come back. They outscored North Carolina 22 to 15 in the fourth
Dang.
quarter.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was tough. UNC was without players, especially their main scorer, Utsby. So
She's been out a couple games though.
I know. So, but I
Yeah.
mean, that kind of also explains it. But tough loss, tough
And
loss.
it's crazy because you would think this would hurt UNC, but no, because of Florida State losing to Duke, UNC squeezed in there in the top
Yeah.
four. So bummer. But yeah.
Hmm. Next, we have Tennessee losing to Georgia, which this one shocked me.
Tennessee,
Tennessee
what are
is
you
going the
doing?
wrong way.
It's concerning me.
And I think we jinxed it, honestly, because, I feel like we started to really talk Tennessee up
I
because we
know.
saw we saw how
Potential.
scrappy, how they always play good D, they
Yeah.
press, the game scheming, all of that. But
Yeah.
nope, they're going in the wrong direction. Yeah, so Georgia won 72 to 69. Tennessee was led by Jewel Spears, 20 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and Z Spearman, 19 points and 4 rebounds. Georgia was led by Mia Woolfolk, 20 points, 4 rebounds, and Damori Flower,
Flanor.
Flournoy,
Flournoy. Flournoy.
Flournoy.
Flournoy.
Sorry for messing that
That's
up.
some tongue
18
twisters.
points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. Yeah, so Georgia led 39 to 26 at halftime. But Tennessee did come back out and like take a
Mm-hmm.
big lead, so I thought they still had a chance. Because they came back to take the lead 60 to 57 with 5 minutes left, and then
Mm-hmm.
they just went cold. Like the next 3 minutes, they could not score a bucket. It was all Georgia. So I don't know like what happened. I
Mm-hmm.
think they were rushing some stuff. They could not get a bucket to drop. And they lost it. That's pretty
Mm-mm.
much it. They just
Yeah,
could not pull off the comeback.
that sucks,
All
Tennessee.
right. The last one I have is Iowa State versus Kansas. They kicked Kansas behind 85 to 63.
Let me.
Kansas was led by Poindexter, 17 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, and Sundell, 11 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. But Audie Crooks, your girl, 36 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists. She she
She's out
she did
here.
it.
I
She
was
did it.
the reason why I was not paying. Not I was paying attention, But I was looking at where Iowa State landed in this bracket. They would
Mm-hmm.
have to go through Baylor and meet up with Oklahoma State.
Mm-hmm. That's tough.
No, no. I'm riding with this Iowa State. I
You
gotta
think?
like,
I don't know.
hey, if Baylor plays with how they did today,
I
which we'll be
know.
talking about, I would take Iowa State. I'm
Mm,
also biased towards Iowa State, so. But continue. No.
yeah. Well, Audie had help by Emily Ryan, 17.7 rebounds, 10 assists. But like I already mentioned, Iowa State jumped out, was cooking from the beginning. Kansas could never recover. Audie, she scored 14 of her 36 points in the third.
Oh wow.
She was like perfect, 100% shooting on the floor. She killed it. So
Really.
good job for her.
We
I
love to
think it's
see
a
it.
career high too. Career high for her, 36.
Woo!
So,
Lovely. We love to hear it. Alrighty. Lots of upsets. Now let's get into the AP Top 25 matchups. So basically, Megan took half my part, so I'm gonna go over all AP Top 25 matchups that happened this week. So
mhm,
Baylor, number 17, Baylor upsets number 14, Kansas State, 79-62. Kansas State took some tough losses this week, huh?
mhm,
Baylor was led by Aaronette Von Lay. 24 points, 12 rebounds, two steals. Yaya Felder, 15 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. And Serena Sundell for Kansas State, 20 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. Kansas State struggled from the three, 13.3% from the three. They had 18 turnovers. Baylor capitalized on those turnovers with 16 points. And they shot well from the three, 39.3%. Von Lay scored Baylor's opening 10 points of the game, and Baylor led 23-12 after starting the second quarter on a 7-2 run. Sarah Andrews made her third three-pointer in the opening 15 minutes to go ahead 32-19. Baylor led 36-26 at halftime after making 6 of 16 three-pointers compared to Kansas State's 1 of 8. Um, Kansas State's obviously struggling without Ayoka Lee. Serena Sundell's doing all she can. She's usually the leading scorer every time we talk about Kansas State.
mhm.
And Baylor was on their win streak. I know we'll talk about it, they lost and all that, but they were on their win streak, shooting well from the 3-point percentage. Um, but yeah, not really much to talk about. It was Baylor's day. But it wasn't their day later. I can't wait to talk about it because I just can't believe what my eyes witnessed when they played TCU. But anyways, over to number 12, Ohio State defeating number 23, Michigan State, 89-78. We had Jelani Cambridge, 33 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists. Asia Petty, 23 points, 15 rebounds, 6 assists. Correct me if I'm wrong. Can you look at this game? Because I'm pretty sure this is the game Asia Petty was like perfect from the field.
Let's see.
But just correct me if I'm wrong. And then for Michigan State, Darren Halleck, 29 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist. Ohio State shot really well from the field, 54% and 47% from the three. They had 40 points in the paint compared to Michigan State's 28 points. Um, Michigan State did shoot well from the free throw line, 92% versus Ohio State's 58%. And they did shoot well from the three, 63% as well. Um, it just wasn't enough. Did you find it? Was that
Yeah,
the game?
she was 11 for 11.
Yeah, that was a really good game. I wanted to shout that out. Basically, Jelani scored 14 points in the third quarter, including the Buckeyes' last 9, as they stretched their 13-point halftime lead to 79-59. Michigan State rallied early in the final period as their 13-0 run made it a 7-point game with 4 minutes remaining. Ohio State answered with a layup by Cody McMahon and a Cambridge jumper to deny the Spartans. From what I remember, they Ohio State like handled this game pretty early, and
Hmm.
then like I mentioned that Michigan State kind of tried to wiggle themselves back in there, but Ohio State handled business. Michigan State's just hanging around in the AP Top 25. I understand like they're losing to like good teams. I get
Hmm.
that. So they're going to be an interesting one to think about in the tournament. Honestly, I just need to see where everyone lands seeding
Yeah.
wise to figure that out, right? Over to Florida State. Number 24 is Florida State upsetting number 3 Notre Dame 86 to 81. Tanai Latson, 23 points, 5 rebounds, 9 assists. Michaela Timpson, 22 points, 17 rebounds, 1 steal. And Sonia Citron, 21 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. Florida State shot 42% from the field, 34% from the three. They both had 12 turnovers. And then they did have more points in the paint, 38 to 34. Florida State shook off a 4 of 20 shooting performance in the first quarter and surged ahead for a 44 to 40 halftime lead, outscoring the Notre Dame 30 to 17 in the second quarter. After going 2 for 12 from three-point range in the first quarter, Florida State hit 6 of 8 from behind the arc in the second quarter. After Florida State pulled out to a 67 to 57 lead at the end of the third, Notre Dame closed to 67-66 in the opening minutes of the fourth. Florida State then registered a double-digit lead and held off Notre Dame. This was a tough game for Hannah Hidalgo. And just Florida State was on. They had the juice. They had the momentum. I know we watched, I think, the end of this game. Those 4 p.m. Eastern games. I mean, 4 p.m. for us, 4 p.m. Pacific games. They're hard to watch, but I mean, what do you remember from this game?
Yeah, I only really caught the end, and I just saw them hitting the threes at the end, and just it was turnovers. It was like Notre Dame couldn't get anything to drop. They weren't getting the calls. Yeah, and then you have the ball in Latson's hands. She's gonna hit her free throws at the end and call it a day.
Yeah. Just a bad game for Notre Dame. I'm pretty sure they were saying during this game if they won, they would have basically clinched
Yep.
the ACC title outright, but they ended up having to split with NC State, which we'll also talk about. But let's head over to number 5 UConn defeating number 22 Creighton 72-53. We all knew this was going to happen. No, it's not. Redshirt junior Carolyn Ducharme made her first appearance at home for UConn since November 16, 2023. So good to have her back for UConn. UConn was led by Sarah Strong, 22 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists. Paige Becker, 15 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists. And Morgan Malley for Creighton, 11 points, 7 rebounds, 1 assist. UConn shot 46% from the field, 35% from the three. They had 40 points in the paint compared to Creighton's 14. Yikes. Creighton also had 19 turnovers that led to 23 points for UConn. Yikes again. Creighton only shot 28% from the three. Creighton did score the first 8 points of the game. An AZ Fudd jumper with 47 seconds left in the first quarter gave UConn its first lead, and the Huskies opened the second period with a 9-1 run to extend their lead to 9 points. After missing 14 of its 19 shots in the first quarter, UConn was 21 for 31 from the field in the second and third periods. Yeah.
I think this just shows too, though, UConn does need to work on that a little bit, that consistency of making sure that they're playing all 4 quarters, because
Of course.
if they don't do that, they're going to struggle in the tournament. So,
Of course, and I mean it's Creighton. UConn always dominates the Big East. I forgot what the stat was of how many times they've won the Big East.
yeah.
So I'm not too surprised, honestly. Over to Alabama. Number 20 Alabama defeats number 7 LSU 88-85. This was a good game. Alabama came out. Also, Aaliyah Nye, 28 points, 4 rebounds, 1 steal, was hitting everything.
Yeah.
She was on fire.
They are lucky she fouled out, because I don't think this was going to overtime if she doesn't foul out.
I agree with you. She ended up fouling out with, like 3 minutes left? Yeah, right here. Nye fouled out with 3 minutes, 26 seconds left in regulation.
Yeah.
And Alabama was leading 73-71. And that's when LSU basically, came back. Sarah Ashley Barker held it down before then she fouled out in overtime, right? 21
but she
points.
Struggled. That's what I'm saying. Like, I didn't think she was going to be able to pull it off between her. I think Zay Green actually is the one that, like, yes, Barker, I think she probably hit like 2 big shots where I'm like, okay, cool, before fouling out. But I think Zay Green is the one that really held it down. She got, I think, a couple stops and then was able to score for them in dire times.
Yeah, no, for real. So yeah, Sarah Ashley Barker, 21 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. Michaela Williams for LSU, 22 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. Um, Alabama shot. They shot relatively the same from the field and the 3-point line. From the free throw line though, Alabama shot better, 73% to LSU 60%.
Hmm.
And yeah, Alabama went on a 9-0 run in the first quarter and led 46 to 35 at halftime. LSU didn't pull ahead until the fourth quarter and led for only 23 seconds overall. That's crazy. Barker was called for an intentional foul with 31 seconds left in overtime, and Alabama was leading 86 to 84. Um, Williams, only, oh, that's what it was. Michaela Williams got sent to the free throw line to tie the game up and missed the free throw. Because I
Yeah.
remember she was like really upset about it at the end of the
Yeah.
game. But basically, it says Cody finished with 17 points and 5 blocks and denied Michaela Williams for the go-ahead layup too. It was like Michaela Williams was just, I felt bad. Like she was really torn up.
It
Like,
was just, it was a tough play call though. It
Yeah,
was kind
it
of
was.
like, no, like it was like they wanted Michaela to have the ball, but there was no
Yeah.
outlet. Like if that died, then who can she get it to? And I
Yeah.
think it just goes to show like how LSU doesn't have the depth. Like it's like if it's not the three of them, right? Flage, Morrow, or Michaela, then it's like game over. And
hmm
I think just Michaela just felt like she had to do it herself, and she just couldn't get done.
Yeah.
It was like three people on her.
Yeah, there was. And it's like not to like slight LSU, it's because if those three are on, they're like unstoppable.
Yeah.
But if they're, if they're not on, it's like who else? Sometimes it was Kaylin Gilbert. Remember she had a couple games here and there, but it's also like we need more than that.
But I think yeah, they're a talented team,
hmm
but I don't know if it's a Mulkey thing, a coaching thing where I can tell you at the end of every game they're putting the ball in Michaela's hands.
She's
Every
most
game.
consistent. She's consistent.
I get that, but that as a the other team,
Oh
they
yeah.
knew they could have three people on her. They
hmm
knew that shot was coming from her. So that's all I'm saying is that maybe think of maybe putting it in Morrow's hands. I mean, I
Yeah.
get the consistency thing, but it's like three people on you, you gotta find a
Yeah.
different play.
True, true. These last couple losses for LSU, I don't know how it's gonna mess with them. In March Madness, I feel like they're saving Flage. Like, all right, forget the conference tournament, rest up because obviously we need you fully healthy for the to make a run. So
Yeah.
we'll see how they come back in March. In March Madness, it's already March.
That's
I
a
get that.
tough decision to have to make too.
It must have been really bugging her though, obviously.
Yeah.
Okay, over to number 16, Duke upsets number 8, North Carolina 68-53. Got their lick back. Look at this.
Mhm.
They go back and forth though. Reagan Richardson led Duke 23 points, 2 rebounds, 3 steals. Toby Fournier 19 points, 10 rebounds, 1 assist. And then Laney Grant for North Carolina 17 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist. Duke shot 40% from the field, 39% from the three. They only had 8 turnovers versus North Carolina's 20 turnovers. And let me tell you, North Carolina shot 45% from the three and 44% from the field. But because of these turnovers, 20 turnovers, they allowed Duke 25 points off turnovers. Um, and then North Carolina only had 11 points off turnovers. North Carolina had won 7 straight. Wow, and 12 of 13, but this one got away from them in the third. They were again missing injured player Alyssa Utsby. Um, but Renai Kelly's been doing really well for UNC, but it wasn't enough. Richardson had a run of 3 straight scoring possessions with 2 3-pointers. She had another 3 during an 11-0 run to end the period, which was capped by Ashton Jackson's long straightaway 3 shortly before the horn for a 52-41 lead. That was like one of those momentum swing, like the
Mhm.
buzzer beating shot. It was kind of just like boom, like I said, momentum swing for this game. UNC had obviously 10 turnovers, had more turnovers than points in the third. That's crazy. While Duke had 11 of its 25 points off turnovers in the quarter. See, turnovers and free throws will kill
Mhm.
ya. Um, I don't think we watched this game. I'm trying to think. Did you end up watching this one?
Mm-mm.
Megan doesn't like watching any North Carolina games, or is it you don't like watching Duke games? Which one was it?
Well, if I had to choose one, I'm a Duke fan over North Carolina. But I just, yeah, they make me mad. It's a slow game. When they play each other, it's slow. It's always low scoring.
Defense. No, yeah.
It's just, both teams frustrate me. So I tend to look at other games while that's on.
There was like this tier list that came out. It's like a parody kind of thing, right?
Hmm.
And there's a category that says can beat any team, but also can lose to any team. And it had Duke and North Carolina. And I said, that's so accurate. How many times are we like they'll beat someone randomly like really good and then they'll lose to someone? I'm just like, dude, what? You just killed them, killed someone better last week. Like it's so random. Okay, over to number 15, Kentucky upsets number 11, Tennessee 82-58, and this is where it started to go downhill for Tennessee. Kentucky smacked Tennessee. Like I was in shock when this happened. Clara Strack, 23 points, 15 rebounds, 2 assists. Tiani Key, 18 points, 10 rebounds, 2 assists. Talasia Cooper for Tennessee, 25 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. Kentucky shot 51% from the field, 90% from the free throw line, and out-rebounded Tennessee 52 to 31. They also had more points in the paint than Tennessee, 46 to 32. Tennessee struggled from the three-point line at 20%. Talasia Cooper was the only player in double figures for Tennessee with 25 points. So let's put that into perspective. Who's going to help her out? Kentucky took the lead at the outset and led 20-9 after the first quarter. It was 45-26 at halftime. And then it was just a wrap after that. Tennessee could not get back into this game. They weren't shooting well from the three-point line. They weren't shooting well from the field, only 31%. And Kentucky was just hitting. Their two bigs, Claire Strack and Tiani Key, were monumental. And it's always, like, we all know Georgia Amore.
Hmm.
Great, All-American point guard, right? But it's like when Claire Strack and Tiani Key can help her out, and, like, she can get you the ball. You just got to finish. You just got to get open. You just got to do your thing. She's gonna get it to you. So when those two are the leading scorers, that's gonna say a lot for Kentucky. Um, you didn't end up watching this game, huh? This one was good. Well, it wasn't good. It was good for Kentucky. Like it made Kentucky look good. Like, oh, okay.
No, I didn't get to watch it, but I'm just glad that Strack is like she's going up at the
Super
right
good.
time.
Yeah, she really is.
Um,
Okay, the game everyone was mostly looking forward to. Number 4 USC defeats number 2 UCLA 80-67. USC came into UCLA and smacked them with a Big Ten championship on the line. I don't know what UCLA was doing, nor did I know their game plan. And it's crazy because when we were watching it, right, they listed up everything. The coach admitted to everything they did wrong, and then I feel like they just did the same thing over again, like in back-to-back games. Juju Watkins led USC 30 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists. Kiki Iriafin, 17 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists. And then Kiki Rise for UCLA, 16 points, 6 assists, and 4 rebounds. USC shot 48% from the field, 34% from the three. UCLA only shot 36% from the field and 25% from the three-point line. They also had 16 turnovers, and USC capitalized on that with 25 points off of turnovers. Juju obviously was hot. She had 23 points scored in the first half. She ran off 6 straight to send USC into halftime ahead 46-32. USC basically, like, UCLA's environment was pretty loud. I'll give them that. Like, there were stars. It was popping. UCLA did come close. They closed it within 4 in the third quarter. They scored 9 straight to go into the fourth. Wait, I think I wrote this wrong because UCLA never led, right?
UCLA never led.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I meant USC then scored 9 straight to go into the fourth, leading by 13.
Hmm.
UCLA missed their first 8 shots and had 2 turnovers to start the game in which they never led. There we go. Just wrote it
Hmm.
a little wrong. So basically, yeah, no, USC punched UCLA in the mouth again. Juju Watkins is player of the year. And that's just how it's gonna be. What do you think?
That's all she wrote.
And that's a wrap. That's easy, honestly.
Yeah, I mean UCLA. Yeah, UCLA. They weren't getting calls. I mean, I think the refs in the very beginning were, you know, making those calls where it's just like let them play. But I don't. I mean, there was the travel calls where I did look back and they did look like travels,
Yeah.
but it's kind of like, when are those ever called kind of thing? Like the
Yeah.
quick foot movement that's usually very goes unnoticed.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, I think they were just like this on her feet.
You stupid.
But no, yeah, like you said already, USC came out, they just dominated. I mean, from the start, Juju was hot, right?
Oh
Came
yeah.
scored the first like 9 points for them or something.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, when she's on fire, it's hard to stop. There was only a few defensive plays where they were able to kind of like show good defensive moments, but other than that, UCLA just could not. They didn't have an answer for it.
No. And it's like UCLA just felt so stagnant. Like it was like the same stuff. It's like they just shove Lauren Betts in the middle of the paint or they leave her on the block and they're like, all right, let's just try and get into her. And then if they happen to do so, it's like USC had a response. Converge on her. She gets frustrated. They call travel. She's not getting a foul call. And it's just kind of like, do something else. I don't know. It just felt super repetitive the entire game. Um, but I mean, hey, they might face off one more time.
Yeah.
And if UCLA, you let USC beat you again for the third time, I don't know what to say. I just don't think you can be. Could they be a number one seed if they lose the Big Ten tournament?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Because technically they're losing to another number one seed in the tournament.
Yeah.
And they've been pretty good the entire year, except
Yeah.
against
Exactly.
USC. So,
And not pretty good. They were undefeated for the longest time too. So
it's just hard. Sometimes teams have your number, and that's just how it goes.
yeah,
It's sports. It is sport. It's a thing.
it's a
It really is a
kryptonite.
thing. It is. It's a thing. I swear. But yeah, the Big Ten tournament's gonna be crazy. I can't wait to see
Mhm.
it. Okay, over to Notre Dame defeating Louisville 72-59. Here we go, Notre Dame. This helped them clinch the what is it, ACC championship. Hannah Hidalgo, 20 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists. Olivia Miles, 15 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. And Jada Curry for Louisville, 19 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist. Notre Dame shot 43% from the field, 40% from the three-point line. This was a bummer though. They had 19 turnovers, but Louisville did have 16 turnovers themselves. But yeah, Louisville didn't shoot that well. 30% from the field, 34% from the three-point line, and 58% from the free throw line. Louisville kept it close throughout the first half, but no, Notre Dame busted it open, outscoring Louisville 22-12 in the third. Olivia Miles hit this was a dope shot. Olivia Miles hit like this off balance three along the
Yeah.
sideline for the buzzer beater to end the third quarter, putting them up 58-40. That was just a deflating moment.
Hmm.
She literally high-fived the Notre Dame football coach in the crowd. Like it was one of those where it was kind of like a wrap after that.
Hmm.
Notre Dame outscored Louisville 21-15 in second chance points, even though Louisville had 20 offensive rebounds to Notre Dame's 13. This was a good win for Notre Dame going into the ACC tournament. Hopefully, they can get, back on their feet. Still imagine they're the favorite for the ACC tournament, but I don't know. NC State be sneaky sometimes.
Yeah.
Um, any other comments on this one?
No. It was a good game for Notre Dame.
Yeah, definitely a needed game.
Yeah.
Okay, over to number 6, South Carolina defeating number 15, Kentucky, 78-66. So we had Tessa Johnson, 16 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist. Tahina Paopao, 13 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. And then Clara Strack for Kentucky, 23 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. South Carolina shot 49.2% from the field, only 26% from the three, but Kentucky matched that with their 26% from the three as well. South Carolina outscored Kentucky in the paint 44-28, and Kentucky had 14 turnovers that led to 19 points for South Carolina. Kentucky almost battled themselves back into this game. Like it was super close. Clara Strack was dominating 23 points, but South Carolina hitting them clutch 3-point shots. I know you were really into the game, Meg, so you want to take it away? No.
I mean, it was just a good game. They
Yeah.
battled. I will say Chloe Kitts. I know she's not on here as a leading scorer, but
Yeah,
she's been doing so well.
I agree.
And I think that, I mean, with her defense, her stops, and everything, I think is what changed the momentum. Even for, oh my gosh, how do you say
Malaysia?
Malaysia Fuwali.
Yeah.
Even her defense, I think that they've just been putting in the extra effort on the defensive end,
Mm-hmm.
and it's definitely translated for them. So I would say that stood out to me.
Mm-hmm, definitely. I feel like, even though Kentucky lost, I feel like this was a good showing for them. Obviously things fell apart in the end. But I don't know. I feel like it gives them a little glimmer of hope that, they can hang with, a top team. Um, but yeah, Claire Strack did well for them. Like you said, Chloe Kitts showing up. She did well. She had her first triple double. Or was it
Mm-hmm.
yeah, first triple double.
Yeah.
The other game. So South Carolina coming in stride. No, I'm saying. Oklahoma defeats Alabama 91-84. We did not get this game. It was on like SEC Plus Network Plus or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But Peyton Verhulst led Oklahoma 24 points, 4 assists, 3 rebounds. Reagan Beers 22 points, 11 rebounds, and then Zay Green for Alabama 27 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists. Oklahoma shot 46% from the field, 34% from the three. Alabama shot well from the three, 41%. Oklahoma did out rebound Alabama 47-35. And then Alabama did win the turnover battle though. They only had 8 turnovers while Oklahoma had 15. They were tied at 45-45 at halftime, but Oklahoma took the lead after Beers tipped in a Lexi Keys a miss and added a free throw to make it 54-53 with 7 minutes left, and start a 9-0 run. Alabama trailed by as many as 10 points late in the fourth quarter, but Sarah Ashley Barker got to the line for 2 free throws and Kelly Weathers scored at the basket and then knocked down a three to get within 5 with under a minute left. Barker got to the basket for a layup to make it 87-84 with 17 seconds left, but Peyton Verhulst hit 5 straight free throws in the final minute to seal the win. Free throws
Mm-hmm.
win you games. Example A. Exhibit B. Yeah, unfortunately we weren't able to watch this game. Also, jam-packed Sunday. This was one of like 1,000 games today. And let
Mm-hmm.
me tell you, when we watch these games, oh my God, we're like on phones, iPads, TVs, like it's a lot to keep up to. It's a lot to keep up with. But I know Megan's excited for this game. Crazy good game. Not Ohio State. I
Mm-hmm.
messed it up for you. Maryland defeated Ohio State 93-90. Kayleen Smichael 26 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists. Cheyenne Sellers, 21 points, 8 assists, 1 rebound. Cody McMahon for Ohio State, 18 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist. Maryland shot well, 48% from the field, 47% from the three, 80% from the free throw line. Ohio State shot 50% from the field and 35% from the three-point line. Meg, give us your analysis of the game.
I actually only caught the second half of this game.
That's crazy.
Um, I know. But I mean, it's just payback, I think, the first time around, Cheyenne Sellers couldn't play.
Okay, there we
She
go.
was hurt,
You're right.
so we'll
Mm-hmm.
blame it on that.
You're right.
This time around, 21 points, she showed them what's up.
Yeah, handle business.
I mean, this game was frustrating at the end anyway because Maryland still let them come back and, almost
Yeah,
beat
of
us.
course.
So,
Of course. Come on now.
but it wouldn't be a Maryland game if they didn't do that, right?
Duh.
Questionable little slide there at the end.
Yo, someone said that she maintained her dribble. I looked at it. She carried
might
on the
have.
slide. No. She carried on the slide and then continued after she popped up.
Okay, because
So
that's what I thought I saw
yeah.
too. And I was
Yeah.
like, what? And it was right in front of the ref. The ref was
Yeah.
literally standing over it like this.
I was
So-
like, yo, it's not like she slid and was like dribbling. It's like
Yeah.
she slid
She
and
slid.
held and then popped
then
up.
got back up.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
And that was messed up because that's what tied the game. And I was like, you gotta be kidding me. That's ridiculous. But then, what was it? Tibayasu. She hit a floater game-winning
running three. Yeah.
That was crazy.
Crazy.
I was like, Maryland was meant to win this game because she hit that shot. Because I was like, there's no way. That's so frustrating. Like, she slid. Obviously, it's a travel. I was
Hmm.
like, this is how Maryland, this would happen to Maryland. But you guys won. Good win. It really didn't affect you guys at all, this game.
Yeah.
But you have a double bye.
I think it was just good for them as a team,
Yes, it was
you
a
know,
good
to
win
get a
for
win.
Maryland.
Hmm.
I agree.
So,
I agree with you. Go Terps! I am concerned about Ohio State though. These
yeah.
last couple of games have been, I don't know where to put them. I don't know what to do. We'll talk about it. But
Well, the foul trouble they went through in this
yeah,
game did
Cambridge
not
fouled
help
out,
them.
right?
Yep, early too.
Yeah, see, that's a bummer
So,
right there. That's a difference maker, right?
yeah.
Okay, over to Duke defeating Florida State 71-57. Toby Fournier, 28 points, 6 rebounds, 1 steal. Ashton Jackson, 14.6 rebounds, 4 assists. And Michaela Timpson for Florida State, 25 points, 8 rebounds, 1 assist. Duke shot 40% from the field, 20% from the three. They out-rebounded Florida State 51-35. That's crazy. This was a close game all the way into the fourth quarter. I don't know what happened because I started watching the Baylor game. But I mean, not the Baylor game. Yeah, the Baylor game. But it was close, back and forth. Toby Fournier went off, 28 points, killing it. Um, Michaela Timpson made a layup 12 seconds into the fourth quarter to make it 49-49. Fournier scored 8 points before Jackson's layup about 3.5 minutes later, capping a 12-0 run. And Duke led by at least 9 the rest of the way. Latson, who went in, oh my God, she made three of three of
Oh,
29,
she had a really bad
21,
day.
and 1 of 8 from the three.
Yeah, she had a really bad day,
No
shooting day.
wonder.
Hmm.
That's rough. That is not good. Because we were talking about it when I went live. Like, not Michaela, Tanaya Latson versus Hannah Hidalgo for ACC Player of the Year. And they
Hmm.
popped up on the game when I went in just to peek at the game. Tanaya Latson's stats are significant. I mean, not significantly better. They're better than Hannah Hidalgo's.
Mm.
But everyone's gonna say
Well, this game didn't
Notre
help
Dame's
that.
record, Notre Dame's record,
Yeah.
and who they played. But it's kind of like, okay, does
Hmm.
Tanaya Latson have Olivia Moss, Sonia Citron, Maddie Westbeld, and no, Leacha King, and no, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought Tanaya Latson had a great season, but I think everyone's gonna say it's gonna go to Hannah Hidalgo. But I just want to say,
Hmm.
pop up the stats. They're pretty close. They're pretty close. Okay, last game of the night for the Big 12 championship. The first time in league history to have a winner-take-all game on the last day of the regular season. It came down to TCU defeating Baylor 51-48. This was the poorest build up to a game because like it was disappointing. This is a low scoring game, 51-48, right? Not, oh my God. Baylor, it's senior day. Their coach was going to get their 100th win if she won. They were going to clinch a Big 12 championship or, regular season championship. Um, it just didn't work out their way. And TCU held the door wide open for Baylor to come back into this game. But Baylor could not buy a basket in the fourth quarter. They could not, they could not score. I want to say they were 1 for 15 at one point in the fourth. Did I make that up?
Hmm.
No, I'm dead at. I'm dead at. Okay. Sedona Prince led TCU 16 points, 19 rebounds, 1 assist. Haley Van Lith, 14 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. And Aaronette Von Lay, 17 points, 10 rebounds, 1 steal. The fact they stopped beating this woman when she was on fire. You guys were not shooting well. Baylor did not shoot well.
Hmm.
27% from the field, 16% from the three-point line. I was mad. Anyways, TCU 35% from the field, 35% from the three-point line. They both were saying that this was like their lowest three-point percentage for both teams in this game.
Hmm.
Um, and that Baylor, when they went on their 9-game win streak, they were shooting like 40%, I think, from the three. And I was like, wow, this is crazy. This is a rough game. TCU had 18 turnovers, and Baylor had 20 points off of turnovers.
Hmm.
Baylor had 30 points in the paint. That's not right. TCU only had 10 points in the paint. Can you check that? That don't sound right to me. But anyways, I felt like TCU let Baylor stay in the game. Like I said, Baylor could not buy a basket. I know TCU was struggling. Madison Connor like was struggling from three for a little bit. Um, but man, the dynamic duo Sedona and Haley Van Lith came through and got them their first Big 12 championship. What do you have to say about this game, Meg?
Yeah. TCU had 10 points in the paint.
Wow, okay. With Sedona Prince, that's crazy, but okay.
Hmm.
Oh, it's because of all the... Yeah, no, I feel you. Okay, no, but what do you think about the game?
I mean, I know Baylor lost and I didn't get to watch the full game, but the parts that I saw is like, one, Baylor had some good looks and they beat themselves
Hmm.
because they just couldn't get the shot to drop or wasn't the
Yeah.
best taken shot. It
Hmm.
was like they're rushing, especially Von Lay in the paint. I feel like she rushed a
Oh,
couple
yeah.
putbacks and a
She
couple
did.
shots
Yeah.
because I think it's just Prince's presence. It
You
affected
got to be
her.
quick because she's so
Yeah, she
long.
thought like, I
Yeah.
don't want to get blocked and stuff, so she was
Yeah.
rushing her shots. Um, but I mean, they still held people to like low scoring, like Haley Van Lith, 14 points. That's
Yeah.
pretty low for her.
Yeah.
So I don't think Baylor played horrible. I just think offensively they couldn't get anything
Yeah.
to go and they were rushing.
Hmm. I agree.
So that's what I saw.
It was just a low scoring output for Baylor.
Hmm.
So, but yeah. So that caps off the Week 17 recap. Power Four Conference Tournament runs from March 5th to I think it's the 10th. I don't know why I put the 9th. I think some end on the 9th, but I think it officially ends on the 10th.
Hmm.
So obviously the Big 10 was won by USC. The Big 12 was won by TSU, TCU. Oh my gosh. SEC was split by South Carolina and Texas. South Carolina won the 1 seed on a coin flip. Can we
Yeah.
talk about that for a second? I thought they were joking when they were saying, yeah, it could be a coin flip. I thought like it was like not a metaphor, a saying, like, oh yeah, it's a coin flip, like who's gonna win it? No, it's a
Hmm.
literal coin flip. So South Carolina got the 1 seed on a coin flip. Texas now has the 2 seed. What do you think about that? Like, shouldn't we have like a stat like whoever has the most points for or points again, like, like should get the
Yeah.
1 seed?
It's something that needs to be fixed. Yeah, for sure. Because it's just not really fair.
Yeah.
To leave it up to luck is like,
Yeah.
what?
Like that's a rule?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so weird to me.
Hmm.
And then the ACC was split by NC State and Notre Dame. NC State had the tiebreaker, so they got the 1 seed. Notre Dame is now the 2 seed. And that's just a glimpse of what we're going to be going over. So obviously, this video is going to come out on Monday. And then on Tuesday, we will have our Power Four Conference Tournament predictions. I think, Meg, should we fill out a bracket separately, or do you want to combine, our knowledge and fill out a bracket together?
We could do it together.
Wow, you didn't feel real confident in that.
I don't always agree with you guys, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, because like I feel like we should all be held accountable, We'll go maybe we should do one together for the people and then a separate one on the side. No. So on Tuesday we'll have our conference tournament predictions for the four Power Four conferences released on Tuesday. And then yeah, we're gonna try and post every day in March. It's our own March Madness. It'll keep us more up to date with everything going on, especially with the tournaments. They're gonna be like first round, second round, semifinal. So we'll have more information quicker to you guys. But thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate it so much. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button, like, comment, share. Follow us on all social media. We'll be back Tuesday. Conference predictions. So tune in. Thank you guys so much. Peace.
Peace.